Last time we talked about the money cycle and mentioned something called sequence of returns risk. This risk comes into play as you transition from your accumulation years to your preservation and distribution years. It simply refers to the order in which good and bad market returns occur. Think about it. If you take yearly withdrawals from a portfolio that's appreciating each year at a rate higher than what you're withdrawing, the withdrawal will have little effect on your remaining balance. However, if you take withdrawals from a portfolio that's depreciating in value, your remaining balance is reduced by both your withdrawal and the losses you've experienced. This can be devastating to your portfolio and thus your long-term retirement success. Here's a great example from John Hancock using historical returns that illustrates how sequence of returns risk could impact two identical retirement portfolios. In this example, Mr. Smith retired in 1969 with $100,000 and Ms. Jones retired in 1979 with the same amount. Both invested in the same mix of 60% stocks and 40% bonds, taking 5% per year initially, then increasing the percentage withdrawn each year to keep up with inflation. Both Mr. Smith and Ms. Jones had only 4 years of negative returns during the entire course of their 30-year retirement, which is exceptionally good. However, Mr. Smith experienced lower returns during his earlier years of retirement, as well as elevated inflation rates. Ms. Jones, on the other hand, experienced higher rates of return during her earlier years of retirement. Both investors had attractive average rates of return, and neither one experienced dramatic market crashes in their portfolios. And although Mr. Smith's overall average rate of return was actually higher, the combination of lower returns and higher inflation in his earlier years caused the exhaustion of his portfolio after just 15 years, while Ms. Jones died some 30 years later with almost 6 times the amount of money she started with. What was the only difference in these two scenarios? It was the date they were born, which dictated the date they retired, which dictated the timing of their returns. In other words, even if you achieve your targeted rate of return over the course of your retirement, it won't ensure your success. Now,